So if you look at the fintech industry, perhaps even so as well the finance industry as the tech industry as a whole, especially for women, it's always been, would you say or agree to that it's a bit of a struggle to maintain yourself in that, or is that what people feel that it is?
I think it really depends. I've been in technology, be it IT, security, or now in fintech for the past 20 years as a woman. It's true at the beginning of your career, it can be quite challenging, to be taken seriously. I have seen it myself, having to do better than necessarily my male colleagues, to get that kind of recognition and learning how to work.
You have to outperform your male colleagues, basically.
To a certain extent, but you also need to understand how, the male psyche works and how to work in a male environment. Because you're a minority, I believe the stat is as of 35%, the dynamics change. If you're less than 35%, you're kind of in a male-dominated environment. So I've learned how to adapt to that. I would still like to see more women in technology, in fintech particularly, because financial services is known for not being the most diverse either, neither is tech, so it's kind of a merging of both. I would like to see a lot more women coming in, and I think events like this are really important because I think networking is really important, mentoring women is really important. Mm-hmm. It starts early on in their careers, even when they're studying.
So how can the fintech industry actually make that happen?
I think it's like any tech industry. It's really, finding programs where you can actually really encourage young women to join, making it attractive. I think interestingly enough, there's this belief that technology is not attractive to women, that they would rather work in, cosmetics or whatever, fast-moving consumer goods. And I find that really interesting because technology permeates everything. It's our life entirely, right? And so Facebook is technology. Twitter is a tech company. FinTech is a tech company. So I think we need to get that view of technology being the geeky nerd, out of women's minds and really attract them more in terms of the opportunities. Because fintech, the advantage of fintech is very fast moving. You have to be very dynamic. You need to think on your feet.
A lot about branding as well.
Branding is very important. Building trust is very important. Being able to multitask, which is fantastic for women, very important. So it's a very dynamic environment that I think women could really thrive in.
So to conclude this message, how could you see Spotcap as a leader in that world as well?
It's a great question. So we're doing several things. First of all, the CMO, I'm part of the C-suite, I'm a woman, so that starts with that, obviously.
Yay.
Yes. We're working at the moment to create a women's network for our employees, see what we can do internally in terms of mentoring and best practice sharing, etc. But also how can we connect them to external networks.
How many employees do you have, and
we
what's
have
the percentage?
130 in total. I can't tell you the percentage off the top of my head. You'll have some departments that are more, women than
usually marketing and communications in the technology sector.
Yes, we have more women in marketing. We would definitely like to see more women in engineering, and that's something that we are pushing for. And it's one of the key things that our head of our chief people officer, it's one of his key priorities.